Okay, so my name's Duran. This is my reaction video to the hiring of defensive coordinator Gus Bradley. What's going on, Raider Nation and football fans? I am extremely stoked about this hiring. This is such a good hiring, and once I kind of tell you his defensive philosophy and who he resembles and kind of the numbers he's had recently, you'll understand why I'm so excited about it. So the first thing we got to jump into is, I wanted to say this as a preface before we talk about how good of a hire it was. Gus Bradley is supposedly friends with John Gruden. He admitted that, and some people are making some type of fuss about it. I don't think that's a big deal. The problem with Gunther is that he was friends with Gruden, and he just sucked, right? He was terrible. He's not a good football coach. He's not a good defensive coordinator. So I actually don't have a problem with them being friends. I don't think that's a big deal. But looking at his numbers, he's been very respectable the last, since 2017 when he was hired with Anthony Lynn as the defensive coordinator. He's been top 10 in pass and run defense every year, except for in 2017, I believe he was like 14th or 15th in pass defense, but he was still top 10 in run defense. So those numbers are pretty impressive. Obviously, we don't even have to dig into Gunther's numbers. Basically, bottom of the league, bottom 5 in the league in all 3 of his years as a defensive coordinator. So we know that by the numbers, it's a tremendous upgrade. But the thing I like about Gus Bradley is his defensive philosophy. Now, if anybody knows about Bill Belichick, what he does with his defense is he puts his players in positions to succeed, and his scheme is extremely simple. And this is exactly what Gus Bradley does. He has a very simple scheme, and whatever the players' skills and strengths are, he uses those to the player's best ability, and he makes players look good that aren't even that good sometimes. Bill Belichick does the same thing. And so Paul Gunther, unfortunately, had no idea how to do that, and his scheme was way too complicated. There was a couple unnamed players a couple weeks ago that said that his scheme was just a week-by-week basis. It was so complex. There was all these intricate designs and code names and colors and phrases that would change every week. That's just absolutely ridiculous. It's uncalled for. Gus Bradley is just like Bill Belichick. It's simple. You're putting players like Maurice Hurst in on pass rushing downs in the defensive tackle position, right? You're putting Arden Key in pass rushing downs in the defensive end position, in the edge, right? You're putting Jonathan Hankins in obvious run situations. You're not having Corey Littleton in an A position when he really should be over here in a B position, and then the next play when he should be in B position, he's over in A position. That's just what I've seen from Paul Gunther. The only players I even seen him use properly was like Jonathan Abram and Travion Mullen a little bit, but players like Damon Arnett is a good man coverage corner. He's a press corner. He is not good with running cover 2 this play, cover 4 the next play, cover 3 the play after that, and then, out of 6 plays, he has 1 play where he's running man coverage. So Gus Bradley is famously credited with being kind of the mastermind behind the whole Legion of Boom thing. A lot of people kind of think that had something to do with Dan Quinn or Ken Norton or Pete Carroll, but Gus Bradley, actually, when you dig deeper, he was behind the whole, persona of it, the mastermind. He was kind of like those guys' mentor, Richard Sherman and Bobby Watt. Well, obviously, the linebackers were playing very well in Seattle, along with those defensive backs. So I'm really a fan of this hire. I think he's going to put our players in the position to succeed, and I expect our defense to be, top half of the league next year. I completely expect that, and being a diehard Raiders fan for the last 15 years, it's just exciting to finally have a good defense. We have been in the bottom 16. We have not been top 16 in defense except for once in the last 18 years, and that was 2011, I believe. It might have been 2010. Actually, I believe it was 2010, but we almost made the playoffs in 2011. We botched it at the end there against the Chargers, and obviously Tebow went 7-1 and the Broncos got in. But in 2010, we were like 14th or 15th in the league in defense. Other than that, we've been bottom half of the league in defense for years and years, and this is where things are finally going to turn around. I'm telling you, Raider Nation, it's okay to have some optimism. This is a really good hire. I think we can finally be excited and look forward to making the playoffs, because this offense got better than it was in 2019. Darren Waller is just turning into a Hall of Famer, and there's just a lot of good things to look out for. So I expect us to spend most of our draft picks on defense and sign some more free agents on defense, and I'm really excited to see what Gus Bradley does with our defensive scheme. It's going to be way better than last year, I promise. So it's okay to get your hopes up, Raider Nation. This was a great hire.